Thank you, Rumiana. Can I get the three of our speakers to come up, and we've got 5 minutes for questions. And I have to say that this has been a wonderful combination of papers talking about the values that we are in the Global Alliance for Genomics and Health all signed up to. It ticked all of the boxes. We have a legal basis, we have a social basis for the sorts of self-assessment questions that we're asking of the tools that are developed. So this felt like a very, very useful and very helpful. Thank you very much for your contributions. So we start over here.
This is a question for Rumiana. So you touched on this a little bit during your talk, but
can you speak up?
How about now? Sorry, for Rumiana. You touched on this a little bit in your talk. I'm interested in what you think, where you have, so you described how there are protections within a state, there's encouragement for sharing with developing countries. To the extent there's researchers from one nation going to another nation where it might be more convenient to perform a particular study, maybe the regulatory framework is more relaxed. Are there, what is the thinking around that, and what the responsibilities are to that host nation?
Thank you. This is a very good question, and I've looked into it in a different research I did on genome editing and then the regulatory loopholes and how these could be exploited. I think that would fall under the general obligation on the state to protect from the negative effects of science. So I think ideally states, and some are, should be looking at regulating the behavior of their researchers even when they are abroad. But I don't have specific data on how many states are actually doing that. So they could if they wanted to, but you're right, there are definitely loopholes and inconsistencies that could be exploited.
Yeah, Robert Green from Boston. Following up on that question, really for Anna, I saw a Chinese colleague, but I didn't see any responses from China. And then following up on that, what about a country like China where there is a lot more linkage between maybe the scientific enterprise and the commercial enterprise, and the whole notion of how do these things apply if they're being applied through large-scale commercial entities, which are profit-seeking, but which may be, in fact, tied to the state. So I was just curious if the two of you in particular could respond to those.
So we will have data on its way from China. So the survey has been translated. Interestingly, we're having problems with the contract between Wellcome Genome Campus and the researchers in terms of ownership of the data. So we want the data to be freely available, and they want to own the data.
Very meta.
Which is really interesting. So when that legal issue is resolved, then we will be recruiting in China. Yeah.
My answer is exactly the same. It depends on the terms of the contract, and some proactive and cautious drafting could save a lot of troubles down the road.
So we have time for a very quick one, or we go and find some caffeine. Okay, I think we're going for the caffeine option. Let us thank our speakers again. Thank you very much.